Now, some people love their financial advisor, but there are others who maybe don't know whether they're getting good service or not because honestly, they don't really have anything to compare it to. Nolan, what's your thoughts on people seeking a second opinion about retirement planning?
I do think that if you're sitting there and you're uneasy with what's happening in the economy and you're not confident in your plan, this is one of the areas where your gut can be right. Your gut is telling you it's maybe time to get a second opinion. Maybe if you think about things in maybe the last year, if you think about what has occurred in the last year, the last 2 years, if you haven't heard from your financial professional, that could be another reason to seek a second opinion. Maybe if your portfolio, if there's not being changes made to the portfolio based upon the changes that are happening in the economy, and you're told, just write it out. That strategy might be fine for folks that have a long time until they need their retirement dollars. But as you get closer to retirement time, you really want it to be more responsive to the market and not just kind of ride it out. If we look at the article that put this out, and this was an article talking about 4 signs it's time to fire your financial advisor, what they had talked about is the things to look for is, number one, if your financial advisor ignores you, poor communication can quickly sour a relationship, especially when money is involved, which is why the quality financial advisor is going to lay out the groundwork in the terms of when and how often they'll check in with you. If your advisor all of a sudden stops returning your calls or emails take too long to get back to you, that's a sign that you might need a new advisor. So a couple things I'll tell you about that from my perspective is, number one is communication is also still a two-way street. So if you have a financial concern, if something is bothering you, your advisor may not know that. It is okay to pick up the phone and call your advisor if something's bothering you. What our process is that we have here at our firm, from a proactive standpoint, it's kind of like a dentist's office. We like it when a lot of our clients, we have 6-month checkups. 6 months we're getting together and taking a look at it. Internally, our office goes through a process called an A to Z campaign. With an A to Z campaign, we take the first letter of their last name, and then internally we review everybody. So everybody who has the last number of Baker, so B's, all the B's would be reviewed in 1 week. Our office would indicate, hey, Karen Baker hasn't been in for a while, or there's an opportunity here. Let's get them on the schedule, proactively reach out to them. We also have twice a year as our semi-annual economic update. It's usually in October, just like it was this year, and in February, just like it was this year. That's where we do our State of the Union address. We have a 45 minutes to an hour and a half presentation talking about economic market updates, sharing our thoughts, giving people an opportunity to come in who have questions, but know, what is the process and what we're doing. I'm biased, obviously, but here, like today on Toledo's largest talk station, doing our weekly radio show for 20 plus years, and now also making that show available in bites of information on our YouTube channel. Again, if you type in America's Retirement Headquarters on YouTube, getting a segment that talks about, what our advice is on how to invest when inflation is high. And, having that proactive communication plan is something that is crucial in our office. They talk about in this article, the financial advisor talks to you, not with you. So your advisor really needs to know a lot about you, your risk tolerance, your investment horizons, whether you're aggressive and conservative, and kind of, again, breaking down what that means and the nature to achieve your individual goals. They won't just be able to glean knowledge from sitting down and talking with you, and they really need to listen to you. If your advisor spends most of the meeting telling you what to do without asking you about your goals, dreams, fears, they may not have your best interest in mind. Again, watch out for somebody who always is just trying to get you to move from one financial product to another. And sometimes change isn't always the best thing. Sometimes sticking with what you have is actually the best advice. Watch out for too much jargon, too much jargon, not enough information. Investing really can be very complicated and confusing. Investors who throw up jargon but don't really explain it in terms that you can understand and what's going on should throw up a red flag. Either investors and advisors don't want to or don't care to give you the necessary information to understand your investments. You really got to kind of, again, try to understand that. And that's why, in our process, we walk through, again, a process of developing discovery. We're going to spend really our first meeting talking about, your goals, your dreams, your desires. We're going to gather as much information as we possibly can, things like your investment statements, your taxes, your insurances, your estate plans. That allows us to kind of work and develop a team action plan. So we're looking at the different threats and opportunities. What are the ways that we've identified that maybe we can take it up a notch? What are the things that we've identified that may be blind spots that you weren't aware of? It could be an outdated beneficiary form. It could be a portfolio that's maybe not optimized. It could be a tax strategy that maybe you're missing out on that, we need to get a tax professional involved and figuring out kind of what could be the right approach. And taking those things slowly and putting those things together, I think, is ultimately the way to make it happen. At the same time, I realize the fact that, I've been in the business for 29 years, and sometimes I'll use Wall Street terms too. Sometimes I need to slow down and make sure that I ask people and make sure that they understand exactly how things work, because there are pros and cons to any type of financial product or investment that's out there. And look, folks, this is your money. You need to understand how your money is. And in fact, it's my opinion that the better I educate a client about understanding their investments, understanding their methodology, understanding the process, the more likely they're going to be able to weather when times get tough. The more likely they're not going to make that emotional decision to make a knee-jerk decision on making a change because of an article they read on Facebook or a TV commercial that they saw or something else that was on TikTok. So these are the type of things that ultimately can help figure out, when is it right to get a second opinion. If you feel like you need that second opinion, I'd love to have the conversation with you. And just, again, if we're not right, that's okay. There's no harm. There's no cost for getting together. We'd love to give you a second opinion. If now's the right time, just pick up the phone, give me a call, 419-794-3030, and let's chat.
And previously, we talked about, people making changes just for the sake of making changes. That's not what you're going to get with this second opinion. If your plan is solid and nothing really needs to be done, they're going to let you know that. And wouldn't it be good to find out? But if there is a change here and there that needs to be made, wouldn't you want to know about that as soon as possible as well? Again, complimentary second opinion. Just as a way of saying thank you for joining us here and expressing an interest in your retirement, all you have to do is pick up the phone and give a call, 419-794-3030. One last time, 419-794-3030. You can always find them online, arhq.com. Want to thank you so much for joining us today. As we always do, really do appreciate you spending some time with us here on America's Retirement Headquarters. Hope you have a great day ahead of you. Nolan, as always, grateful for the time. And as we wrap up, want to leave you with the final word.
Yeah, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Folks, just remember, when you think retirement, think America's Retirement Headquarters. It's home of America's Medicare Associates and the Retirement Guys formula.